The more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. Military training and exercise are essential to keep up the spirits of soldiers and strengthen the defense of the country. In this video, we are going to discuss the top 10 craziest military exercises in the world. Number 10. Belarus Army tightrope walking over burning logs. Kicking off the list with number 10 we have the Belarus Army. Tightrope walking over burning logs is one of the most dangerous exercises in the world. It is absolutely crazy to make the soldiers stand on their toes on the burning logs. Ah. That sounds awkward. The armed forces of the Republic of Belarus has got the ground forces and the air and air defense forces. All forces are actually under the command of the Republic of Belarus Ministry of Defense. Being a landlocked country, the region Belarus has no navy. In the year 2017 the IS estimated that personnel in the armed forces numbered were about 48,000. The country is landlocked country in Europe and the Belarus army trains its soldiers to walk a tightrope over burning logs. As if it was not demented enough, it heats up the situation by shot bullets at their feet from below. This is even though one of the craziest military exercise in the world. Number 9. US Navy SEAL freezing in the surf. The United States American Navy sea, air, and land teams, popularly known as Navy SEALs, are actually the US Navy's primary special operations force and a component of the Naval Special Warfare Command. The exercise is popularly known as freezing the surf. It is especially designed to make soldiers strong and capable enough to perform in the war. The exercise has got its own amazing and unique features which make soldiers courageous and capable enough to face the enemy during the war. Made to lie down and link their arms while submerging their heads in the cruel ice-cold water of the ocean for 8 minutes, sporadically, and then made to run and rub their bodies in the sand dunes, only to get ready for the coming round. This exercise is a mandatory course in the US Navy. They are made to shout at the top of their sound as the waves come crashing over them. Well, these exercises are fair enough to train troops of United States Navy SEALs and make them strong enough to combat in the war. After the training, they can certainly fight fearlessly. Number 8. US Marines drinking the blood of cobras. At number 8, we have another crazy military training exercise in the world. It is popularly known as drinking the blood of cobras. Apparently, it seems really difficult to drink the blood of poisonous creatures such as cobra. But, in military, these exercises are especially done to make fighters a perfect warrior. It could strengthen the defense of the country. Not only the defense, but also make warriors of the country courageous, strong and brave enough to combat the enemy during the time of war. The exercise is really exciting and amazing. Of course, it has been designed for the military personnels. We cannot expect a common man to do this exercise. Well, the United States Marine Corps, also known as the United States Marines, is the maritime land force service that is the branch of the United States Armed Forces, responsible for conducting expeditionary and dangerous amphibious operations with the United States Navy, as well as the Army and Air Force. Let's discuss a little about the practice of drinking the blood of cobras. While survival tactics is a must-know for everyone, this bizarre exercise involves an 11-day survival preparation in the jungles of Thailand. Apart from eating the tail of a cobra and drinking its blood, different acts which are biting off a chicken head and eating scorpions. Of course, the exercise must be amazing and stunning. Drinking the blood of cobras is certainly one of the challenging military exercises in the world. But, it is done to train troops to face the harsh time if they are not provided with food. Sometimes, it is a part of survival exercise and especially designed for special forces. The traits of the exercises are absolutely challenging and amazing. Number 7. Taiwan Marines crawling through a bed of rocks. This is one of the stunning, amazing, and exciting experiences for warriors and soldiers who really undergo this process. The whole training process is rigorous and challenging. The craziest exercise is popularly known as crawling through a bed of rocks. It is done by the Taiwan Marines, who are one of the popular marine troops in the world. The Republic of China Armed Forces, popularly known as the Taiwanese Armed Forces. The ROC Marine Corps was established from the former Navy Sentry Corps in December 1914. It had got 2 divisions, 66th and 99th Divisions respectively. It forms the final stage of the dangerous amphibious training program in the region Zhuoying. Popularly known as the Road to Heaven, it isn't really named right. These fighters have to crawl through a distance of 50-meter-long path filled with different rocks and corals with sharp edges. Painful beyond creativeness, these training exercises create a class of otherworldly humans. The exercise is challenging and extremely painful. Well, it is the part of their training that makes warriors rigorous enough to face the challenges of war and fight for the defense of the country. Number 6. Russian Special Force taking a shot to the chest. Apparently, it seems really crazy when it comes to shooting a chest. But, the exercise is done with all safety and precautionary measures. The bulletproof vests are one of the essentials before executing the plan for this exercise. It is important indeed to reduce the loss of life during practice and exercise. The exercise is done by the world's most famous Russian special forces. The Special Operations Forces of the Armed Forces of the Russian Federation, popularly known as Special Operations Forces. The first units of what would become the Special Operations Forces were moved from the GRU in the year 2009 as part of the continuing in the year 2008 with reference to Russian military reforms. This is a special part of the Special Forces training in the region of Russia. Said to inculcate a sense of calm and bravery, it involves getting shot right in the chest. Of course, it cannot be done without wearing a bulletproof jacket. Some successfully manage to get away with it and some end up getting injured. At a close range, they are dangerously shot in the torso and are expected to fire back. Shooting a chest with a bullet is certainly not an easy task. One may lose his life. At one stage during Russian Special Purpose Forces training, the trainees are shot at the chest. Troops wear body armor to give them a taste of the practical battlefield. They bravely stand there and then they wait for someone to casually walk past them, but then suddenly draw a pistol and shoot them one after another. Bullet is shot into their chest. After getting these hits, they have to return fire. Also, they have to target just inches away from the attacker's uncovered face. It is highly risky because if they miss by a few inches, they may blow the head off the trainer. In a second drill, the trainee is given different cardboard targets to shoot, but while he does so, he is hard-pressed and shoved by trainers, has stuff yelled in his ear, and guns fired instantly adjacent to his ears. These are all supposed to simulate distractions on the battlefield and increase the trainee's focus in pressurized as well as stressful situations. In an even higher stakes version of the drill, they put real human beings immediately adjacent to the cardboard targets, so if they miss, they hit real persons. This is supposed to train them to primarily focus on their shooting, even when innocent bystanders are close by. Here, Russian special forces are trained in an excellent way to thrive and learn to sweat in peace. So, they can fight and bleed less in war. Exercise is indeed challenging and causes a risk of life. But, one cannot deny the importance of the exercise, as it is a prime source to make the troops competitive and challenging. Well, it is indeed a challenging task to accomplish. However, this can be done very well if it is done with proper planning. Number 5. British RAF exposure to tear gas. The Royal Air Force is the United Kingdom's aerial military action force. It was formed towards the end of the First World War on 1 April 1918 and is the world's senior independent national air force. This must be the bittersweet training of all. Recruits are sent to a tear gas chamber in full gear and asked to take off the gear after they enter the chamber. The sudden exposure to tear gas makes a powerful impact than it otherwise would have. In this condition, they are regulated to shout their name and numbers in a loud and clear voice while getting out of breath. Number 4. South Korean Army fighting in the snow. On number 4 of our today's list of the craziest military exercises is the fighting in snow. It is certainly hard and challenging. But, the exercise is unique in its own that makes soldiers capable enough to fight in snow region and combat the enemy of the country. The exercise is done by the troops of the South Korean Army that is also entitled with the name of the Republic of Korea Armed Forces. The Republic of Korea Armed Forces, also popularly known as the ROK Armed Forces, are the armed forces of South Korea. The ROK Armed Forces are one of the largest standing armed forces across the globe, with a reported personnel strength of 3,699,000 in the year 2018. Over the number of 200 soldiers of South Korea's special forces traveled to Pyeongchang, which has an enormously cold temperature of -30 degrees Celsius. Here, they go without shirts, run a marathon, combat, throw snowballs at each other, and do gymnastics training. Number 3. Russian Army learning to take the pain. The armed forces of the Russian Federation, popularly known as the Russian Armed Forces, are the military forces of the Russian Federation, established after the dissolving of the Soviet Union. The special Spetsnaz pain management training includes smashing a burning concrete slab in half with a sledgehammer on a recruit's stomach, getting punched in the stomach by the commanding officer, and are not allowed to flinch at all. It sure leaves no room for extra pain. Number 2. Biting off the head of a live chicken. Every year in Thailand, 7 countries partake in the multinational military exercise popularly known as Cobra Gold. It was held in the month of February, which is 11-day training includes 13,000 brave and courageous troops from countries like Japan, South Korea, and the US. Cobra Gold promotes foreign military cooperation with events such as humanitarian comfort, amphibious assault, and jungle survival. And sometimes that means making use of the wild game that calls the jungle home. Number 1. Hot potato. The People's Liberation Army is the actual armed forces of the People's Republic of China and of the PRC's founding and ruling political party, the Communist Party of the region, none other than China. Soldiers of the Chinese People's Liberation Army pass around a live grenade before moving it into a hole. The plot troopers at the same time leap away in the nick of time. This drill was created to promote discipline, verbal communication, and dedicated teamwork. This was all about the world's craziest military training exercise. If you like the video, click the bell icon and subscribe to our channel. See you soon in the next video.